Hi, and welcome to the monthly preview of The Banker's January issue. My name is Joy Macknight. I'm Deputy Editor at The Banker, and I'm here with Stefanie Linhardt, who's Europe Editor, and we're discussing what's happening in Greece. Stephanie, thanks so much for joining us today. Obviously, the election of Donald Trump as US President and the no vote in the Italian referendum, which led to the resignation of Matteo Renzi, Prime Minister, has sort of pushed Greece out of the headlines over the past little while. However, the difficulties that the country is facing are still rumbling along, and there was again a number of mass demonstrations earlier in December. Can you tell me a little bit about the state of the Greek economy?
Yeah, so Greece is back in the picture, really. There's discussions going on about the programme. There is a second assessment that has to be pushed through. A lot is really to do with this programme being pushed through as quickly as possible, and a lot of hope to do with other bits and pieces that could then lead to a recovery in the economy next year, which is really what everyone is hoping for. This is all very difficult, though, because at the moment there is not really much of an agreement between the Eurogroup and the International Monetary Fund. The Eurogroup very much wants the International Monetary Fund to be part of this bailout, but they don't agree on significantly important points within this programme, including the long-term budget surplus that Greece has to reach. So from 2018, the Eurogroup asks them to have 3.5% of GDP budgetary surplus, and that going on for several years after, while the IMF says under the current programme this is not going to be possible. That would mean we'd need more tax cuts, we'd need tax rises, we'd need more pension cuts, more reforms, or we drop it to 1.5% of GDP, but there's just not anyone agreeing on any of the both points.
But there's been a change also in the short-term debt relief program. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so this is something that Greece is obviously very keen on, debt relief. The European Stability Mechanism, which is part of the bailout, ESM, has come up with short-term debt relief, which would help Greece going forward. However, again, there's been some stones thrown into the road, because what happened is the programme that the ESM and the Eurogroup looked at and assessed wasn't, 100% what actually came out afterwards, because Alexis Tsipras, the Prime Minister of Greece, has allowed for a pre-Christmas pay to be given to pensioners, plus a small tax break on some islands that are very, very badly hit by migrants. Now, this wasn't part of what the Eurogroup and the ESM assessed, so now they've said we'll have to think about this debt relief again.
So the European Central Bank has decided to extend its quantitative easing program. Will Greece be able to benefit from that?
That's, again, a big hope. At the moment, we don't know. At the moment, it doesn't quite yet look like this, because Greek bonds are not being bought by the European Central Bank or the central banks in the Eurozone. This is partly because of debt sustainability. So if there was an outlook for longer-term debt relief for Greece, then Mario Draghi, the president of the ECB, might say, now we will buy Greek bonds. There has been a lot of hope for QE across the whole of last year, and especially now. And also this economic forecast that I mentioned very much relies on the fact that QE will also include Greek bonds in 2017. Now, at the moment, this is not the case, and everyone's hoping for that.
Okay. And what is the situation for the Greek banks?
Greek banks need confidence, like the economy. They have been doing better this year, which is great, and they kind of see 2016 as a turning the corner year, and are most of them expected to report small profits. They do still have problems. During the years of the crisis, there have been significant amounts of outflows of deposits from the banks, from a level of about 240 billion euros of deposits. They've fallen to about 120 billion. So they've nearly halved since the start of the crisis. So banks are trying to get some of these deposits back. Most of the money has left the country, but some of it is, they hope, under the mattresses, in safety deposit boxes, because capital controls came into place and you couldn't send the money abroad. They're hoping to attract money back because while they haven't had the natural funds from deposits, they obviously had to get extra money, and that was from the ECB and that was from European liquidity assistance. It was all a lot more expensive than having deposits. And the other problem is non-performing loans, which are quite significant in Greece, around 47% according to the single supervisory mechanism from the ECB, and that has to be cut. And the banks are now starting slowly to work on this because it's not really been something that had been dealt with in the past.
All right. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to reading your articles.
Thank you.